Yo, yo.
Hello.
How you doing, Ant?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I'm fantastic. I'm
That's great.
fantastic.
Oh my God.
Huh?
So great. That's great.
Yeah, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh, I absolutely have nothing going on ever.
Nothing.
Nothing. Just sitting around knitting. I'm knitting.
Oh, you're knitting now.
Yeah.
What are you knitting currently?
I made this.
When does Katro get on the show? What day is the day after never? What day is that? I'm trying to figure it out. Katro, if you figure out what the day after never is, that's the day. You can come on the show.
So I did get another nasty message from a conservative today.
Oh, from a conservative?
Yeah.
Why?
Saying that I'm not doing enough.
Was your reply, well, what are you doing?
No, I blocked him instantly. I'm not fighting.
Oh, you blocked him instantly.
I'm done. I'm done. If you come into my DMs, you're instantly getting blocked. I'm done.
Where is Kat? Kat is still down with COVID. So she still not feeling well. Hopefully she'll be back next week. Hopefully she gets better throughout the weekend. So we can get her back. We miss her.
Yes.
So I don't know if you've heard about the latest news, like the Supreme Court leak overturning Roe versus Wade. I'm not sure if you've heard that or not. I mean, it's kind of been quietly done around the news cycles. Have you heard of it or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the inciting violence on what's about to be an insurrection on Supreme Court justices' houses?
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad they went from barriers to an entire fence around.
Wow.
Yeah.
So peaceful.
I mean, when we lose Supreme Court cases on our side, they don't ever put up barriers, which is weird.
Wow. This is great. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, your friend tearing it up has a lot of information on this stuff, I think.
I don't know. I think she's a lost cause on this one.
Yeah, I mean, people have been sending me her videos. She seems extremely educated.
Yeah, I mean, and we're compared to the Taliban.
I mean, I can bring on for her educated Black women that are pro-life that can teach her 5 or 6 or 100 things that are actual statements and facts on how many Black babies were killed since Roe started. It's 19 million Black babies have been murdered. So if Black Lives Matter, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call tearing it up out because she's a big one. That videos are circulating. I'm going to tell tearing it up something else. She called me in frantic 2 weeks ago because she didn't like the bill in California. So I'm very surprised in her that she's running around TikTok or whatever social media platform she thinks she has rule over and literally like she's doing it in an uneducated way. And I've already blocked some of the across the aisle people, and I will continue to do it because it's insanity to me. 1%. I mean, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. 1% of cases involve rape. The child had nothing to do with that rape, so therefore, there's no reason why you should justify the abortion process, anyways. If you really want to save Black and Latino lives, Black Lives Matter, okay? All of these Planned Parenthoods are set up in Black or Latino neighborhoods. They do that because they know that those are the people that are going to kill their kids, that are going to have abortions. 19 million kids were, since Roe started, were murdered through abortion And if you want to talk about some real hardcore stuff, why don't we try to make it possible for there to be free funding for child adoption rather than free health care for women wanting to abort babies? Because if you want to go and kill and rip out that baby, it's free. But if you want to adopt children, it's $60,000. So make that make sense.
Yeah, no, and I agree. Our adoption process and system needs to be like completely overhauled. Um, and I don't think that there's, and the thing is there's just not, we don't put enough pressure on our elected officials to make that change. And so it's not a big priority. They would just rather, on the Democrat side, just murder babies. I mean, the thing is, like, and so I was live earlier, and I was talking about the Texas bill that got turned down by the Supreme Court 7 or 8 years ago. That would have actually benefited more on the women's health side of things because of the standards that we were trying to set here in Texas. They call it healthcare, but it's legitimately the only healthcare procedure that is done outside of a hospital. And everybody's okay with it. Well, Texas tried to put this bill into place that set parameters that all these abortion clinics had to obey the same kind of regulations that like hospitals have to do to protect the woman. Like, look, if it's going to happen, let's set these parameters up to make it safe. And that was deemed unconstitutional and turned down. And then, of course, tearing it up was in my comments on the live. And she's like, well, that's a funding issue. Oh, now we have issues with funding. We can fund Ukraine and their fucking war.
Right. Correct.
We can fund a wall in Jordan.
Correct.
We can fund gender studies in Pakistan.
Correct. Which, might I add, these are the country. So the people that are fighting for this are the same people that are getting beheaded in these countries as well. So it's very like, keep that same energy through the board. So what about the illegal late-term abortions done all the time? Something else that I learned after doing some research last night and getting into all kinds of abortion wormholes. Did you know that there's some states that actually don't even have to report the abortions done? So 19 million or so is just the number that we have.
Right.
It could be double that.
Right.
So,
and it just seems like, I mean, right now everything is a gaslight, right, on both sides. It's not just it's, you know, I was on live about an hour ago with some people, and one of the liberals that were in there were talking about this whole thing, and I was like, well, what about the leak? Oh, we're not worried about the leak. Okay, well, how about our entire, like, this whole thing of Roe v. Wade was based off of a lie? Like, we surely, just because you got what you wanted doesn't mean our entire system should be based on a fucking lie.
So Amber Lynn, all those abortions. So there's actually a video of 2 women who are pro-life now because of those aborted fetuses found in Virginia. There's a lot of people who have actually seen those videos that have turned them to pro-life. And there's a lot of things that I've seen that I'm sad that I was blind to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like Kathy says here, is that I feel like the leak, not only the leak, but now they've doxed the 5 justices that voted in favor of getting rid of Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. So clearly, people don't understand how our justice system works.
Right.
Okay. This is an issue. It doesn't mean that it's going to be banned nationwide. I would love it to be, but these people are crazy because this is the federal government is saying this doesn't have anything to do with us. We're giving it to the states. So technically, if you wanted to still be a murderer, you can go to and there's plenty of states that, I mean, you can go to California and rip it out after. I mean, you can have the baby and then kill it. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, places like Texas, Florida, South Dakota. I know Christy Nome was talking about making it completely banning abortions completely. If you live in those states and you like to murder children, go to a state that you can murder children in then. Like, this is going to the state. This is like, I don't know if y'all know how this works. And also, I don't know if y'all know this. You can't intimidate the outcomes of a Supreme Court justice's ruling.
Well, we're about to find out if they can, though. That's the thing. Like, if these opinions change because they got bullied into it, we could actually see to where they can. I honestly think a lot of the election was an intimidation factor.
I agree.
On them not taking up certain cases and whatnot. So I do believe that the court has already been, I guess, I don't know the right word to say, but it's compromised.
100%.
And when we have the highest court in our land being compromised this way, it's not a good thing for either side, mind you. For either side, it's not just a left or a right side. This should be, because I mean, Lady Justice is supposed to be blind, but yeah, there is 20. So there's like 23 or 26 states that have legislation ready to go to either ban it or restrict it. And like I had somebody say, well, they shouldn't have any restrictions. Okay, well, I feel the same way about the Second Amendment that says legitimately shall not be infringed.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing: is that this issue is bringing even the conservatives out of the woodwork that were in the closet about being pro-choice. It's bringing them out. And if you're a Catholic or a Christian, technically by nature, you should be pro-life.
Well, that's what Joe Biden was back in the 80s.
He sure was. But nobody wants to talk about that, Tex. Come on.
No, he changed his mind. It's always funny. Like when we say Trump changed his mind, oh, of course he did. How convenient. But when Biden did, oh, he changed his mind.
And here's the thing, too. If they really want to get down to nitty gritty, these people should actually love Trump, because Trump said that he was pro-life, except for their very argument is, well, what about the rape and the incest? Or what about in situations of saving the mother's life? Okay. Trump was for that. He said, in certain situations, I agree.
The Texas
wasn't full pro-life.
The heartbeat bill here in Texas, the big controversial bill here in Texas that garnered all this media attention for Texas for some reason, it actually had exclusions to save the mother's life and for rape and incest. That you can still, after 8 weeks, you can still get an abortion. And so, like, it conceded with their arguments. There's that's the sad part is that there is zero middle ground for pro-choicers. It's either abortion or nothing.
Mikey, it's slim to none in most situations, and the amount of rape cases are literally 1%.
Well, but this is, I mean, when you really go back and you look at like the last 15, 20 years, and you look at the patterns of the Democrats, this is what they do. They always go to the what ifs, like the most extreme that you can get of a what if. I mean, they do it with guns to get gun laws passed. They do it with everything else of the extremes to make sure that that one incident can never happen. It's like, but then they want to complain, and they're tossing this poll around that was taken that says 70% of Americans don't agree with what the Supreme Court's about to do. Have you been polled?
No. So those polls were taken. So those poll numbers are not accurate.
Oh, no poll is.
Yeah, those poll numbers were not taken in a biased group. Those were taken in extreme like, I'm going to get the exact poll. I'm going to let you know next week the exact place it came from, because somebody sent me a link. It's so far into but these polls, I've never been polled. Y'all, I guarantee all 20 people in here haven't been polled. So I do agree with those 3 instances. So pro-life and pro-choice are black and white. It's just that. If you're pro-choice, you're pro-choice on everything. If you're pro-life, you should be pro-life completely. When I say the 1%, that's 1%. That means that even if a woman was raped, though she had the trauma, if she aborts that baby, which is not the baby's fault, there are multiple different mental health issues on top of the rape mental health issues that she will go through as a woman, that she will also add on to mental health issues that she will have after aborting her child. So there are many more things that we can do for her and the baby after the baby is born, as opposed to killing an innocent child that had nothing to do in this specific rape situation. Again, it's 1%. Should it happen at all? No, of course it shouldn't happen. Nobody should be raped and forced to have sex that they don't want to have, but the baby didn't choose that. So life starts at conception. So that's a life regardless. And when people tell you that it's just a clump of cells, it is a clump of cells. You are a clump of cells. The plant on my patio is a clump of cells. The tree outside is a clump of cells. An ant, a little bug is a clump. Everything is a clump of cells. So it's still a living organism. Am I saying it right? Cells. So it's just that. It's in these situations of rape, guys, it's not many cases. And we should have alternate ways for this woman to be able to go through the mental health process after she has the baby and give her options of what she can do after pregnancy.
Hey, you want to hear a sad fact?
What?
An unborn bald eagle has more rights, protective rights, than our babies.
Yeah. It's crazy. And if
an animal
look up Google free adoption, only dogs and cats will pop up.
Right.
Dogs and cats, not
Right.
people. We're paying for people, not dogs and cats. We're paying for people, not dogs and cats. We're paying to murder babies. We're giving women full, and if you look at the list on the adoption sites of why it can't be free, a lot of it is medical. A lot of it is counseling. Why the fuck do I need counseling? I'm the one saving your ass.
Well, I can tell you. So my older brother he adopted 2 kids. He got lucky, I guess you could say lucky, because the mother was giving them up. So we have a case where the mother is voluntarily giving up rights to their kids. And do you know it still costs them $15,000 and 2 years worth of courts and studies and counseling and checkups to fully adopt? And they didn't have to go find the mom because it was a family friend.
Of
And it
course.
still cost them that much.
All money for them.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the sad part is, and the courts, like, the funny thing is when they were going through the process, it was like the court still almost wanted to give the mom the kids after she's voluntarily doing it and strung out on drugs, and they still pretty much wanted to give the mom the kids still.
And so look, I've talked about this too now. It's kind of like I've been talking to a lot of pro-life people, and they've been giving me a lot of insight.
It's true, Cowboy.
Yes, you're right, Cowboy. It is. So, fuck, what was I going to say? Oh, if you like, it's really sad when you see these women holding up signs that saying I've aborted 21 babies. If you seriously have aborted 21 babies, girl,
The Attorney General of New York State came out today and said she's very proud of her abortion.
Girl, close your legs and get your tubes tied. Like there's hundreds of different ways to protect yourself from, like, I can't even. Why are people getting pregnant and then be like, oops? Like there's even the morning after pill. Like there's condoms. There's.
I mentioned that in my live. Okay, so if you get raped, go take the morning after pill. And you know what I was told? All women are too emotional after the rape to have to worry about taking the morning after pill.
Really? Did you take an Advil when you woke up? It's that easy. Come on, dude. It's one excuse after the next.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, That's what I just don't understand. Like, you mean to tell me there can't be any middle ground? Like none?
In what instance?
For either side. Like on their side mainly, because they don't want to concede on anything. They just want 100% abortions.
Well, and pro-life wants 100% life.
Right. But I think that a lot of pro-life that I have talked to said that they are willing to kind of concede on rape and incest and to save the mother.
I think that, and this might be unfavorable for my pro-lifers, but
Right.
like my only one really is to save the mother. So in if the mother is going to die, well, I think that it should be up to, in that situation. Some parents will decide. I know I have a friend of mine. They said you could die if you, like, they had complications.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if it was where the baby is not attached to the placenta. So, one of my women had the name for me. Anyways, they said, yes, Mikey. They said that they chose, the doctor gave them they said we can go ahead. We're gonna have to take the baby out right now. You could bleed out. Are you okay? Like, this is up to you. Like, you could die, saying to the mother. And they said, I would rather have my baby survive than me die. That was my cousin that said that. So in that situation, that would be the one situation where I'd be like, you know what? That needs to be left up to the mother and the family. If it is in a situation where the mother could die in birth, in a delivery.
I'll give you an argument that I heard about that to overcome that one.
Yeah, please.
As a mom or a dad, would you risk your life to save your baby, your kid's life?
It's, and pro-life. Yeah, I mean, I've heard this one too, actually.
You know, like, would you throw your body, yourself, in front of a bullet for your kid?
My father still probably would till this day.
Oh, I would.
You would for your kids.
So if you're willing to do it when they're born, why aren't you willing to do it during pregnancy?
And look at what my cousin did. She says, I want my baby to be born, so I will die. Right. They both one survived.
Yeah, obviously.
The baby did not survive because preeclampsia. That's what it was. But the baby was 24 weeks and unfortunate, survived for 4 days, but she unfortunately passed away. But she made that choice. She said, I would have rather have my child survive and have a full life. I'll die.
Yeah, here's one right here, Lisa.
Hey, my doctor told me I was at risk of that. Look, see? I mean, so yeah, and most I think that most mothers will choose that. Honestly, I really do. I think, I don't know. I think I have faith in most, but then it really kills me because we got to see the 24-week-old baby that was born, and she was beautiful. We had a funeral for her when she passed. Some people would just throw it in the garbage, and the nurses and the doctor. Actually, the nurse spoke at the funeral. And the nurse, I wish I could actually have my cousin on. She would definitely not mind me telling the story because she has become a huge advocate for it.
Taryn, nobody's shaming women. No, nobody is shaming women. I mean, I'm not.
I don't know who just shamed women, but again, an uneducated statement. So the nurse spoke and she said, in all of my years, you are one of the only families that I've seen with a child that was born due to preeclampsia.
What's up, Joey?
That stayed by the baby's side every 24 hours on top of 24 hours. They stayed by the INCUBE, by the baby's side every day. Talk to baby every day because it was a baby.
It is
24 weeks. She was a baby. Right. Sienna was a baby.
I mean,
he was baby, big,
but baby whenever the little sperm thing went in and conceived, that's when it was a baby.
She was a baby. But I'm saying when she had her, she was a baby.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's okay, Lisa. This subject has made some people on the other side really unhinged. So a lot of times they won't be as educated, but it's okay. They're going to work through it. And I have a list of doctors if they need it for mental health concerns. So yeah, we are literally just telling stories of survival. She comes in here with a baseball bat. Like, we are not the same.
That's Taryn. That's what she does. She always comes in with a baseball bat.
It's like somebody at an AA meeting, and then somebody walks in, like, I'm drinking beer. That's the left for you, Taryn. Welcome to the fucking party, girl. Yes, uneducated, love it. Kill as many babies as you want. Just get the fuck off my podcast. So yeah. There you go. I'm sorry, I tried, but I can't. Because they are throwing them in garbage cans. They are doing that. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, and Keely, I got to agree. Like, we've made this whole thing of abortion. This is why the left can't refer to it as a baby. They have to refer to it as a clump of cells, because it does disassociate the value of that child inside of that womb. And that's exactly why they have to disassociate, because then it does make them feel better. They don't care for science when it comes to a baby, but they care for science to inject shit into you. Make that
well,
make sense.
and they don't care about science when men are able. Technically, I haven't heard any men mad about this situation. Have you?
Mad about what?
Men that are laying on the steps of the Supreme Court.
Oh, get on TikTok. There's a plenty of men upset about this. Trust me, I've heard from them all, I think.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
well, Lisa, we've actually learned quite a bit out of Taryn in the last few days, haven't we?
Yeah, Joey,
so
I can't wait either. I mean, it's proven that a fetus can feel. It is proven. It is even at 8 weeks, they can feel 100%. Pain of them getting torn apart. Like, there's actual evidence of, like, a baby putting their hands up against the mom's belly as they're getting aborted, almost in a sense of trying to escape. It feels like.
Oh my God, you just gave me the chills.
I mean, they're out there, and this is why the left does have to disassociate that still. They have to make sure that they can justify these, in my opinion, for just not necessarily in the cases of rape and incest or even saving the mom, but the 96% of abortions that are done out of pure selfishness for a lot of the moms is, I mean, as long as you can disassociate life with that, it makes the process easier, and that's why they want.
So let's ask. So if Taryn's in here, she supports Black Lives Matter, right?
Yeah, she did a duet of Dana, right? Carrying a Black Lives Matter flag.
Oh, she was? So if she supports Black Lives Matter, then why were the 19 million children that we know about that were Black ripped out of their mother's stomach since Roe? Why? I haven't found one yet, Mikey.
Oh, now there's only 2 genders too, of course. This is just a women's rights issue. Not all the non-binary people, not the trans people. This is just an issue for women now, all of a sudden, which is kind of weird too, that, like, now all of a sudden we're back to 2 genders.
I know. I'm waiting. So here, let's see what Cowboy's got a lot to say today. Correct. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Cowboys, now all of a sudden we don't trust science.
And here's what's funny. Then you hear these women from The View. I use the women loosely. the slobs on The View, and you have Whoopi Goldberg saying it is not up to the government to choose what somebody does with their body. It is up to the person to choose what they do with their body. Well, then why the fuck are you making me get a vaccine?
Oh, but they're not making you get a vaccine. You have a choice not to take it or not have a job. Oh, and now to counter this, they want mandatory vasectomies.
Mandatory vasectomies for what?
For boys. Boys under 18.
What?
Because they're reversible, but they're only reversible for a certain amount of time. But that's what they want. They want mandatory vasectomies.
Those women don't matter. And neither do the ones in sports, just so you know. I mean, am I wrong?
Right. And that's what they like. I was asked in one of my lives, what bodily autonomy rights have been violated for men? The vaccine.
Well, I have a friend right now that can no longer have a baby, and they said that it was due to the vaccine. He's infertile. So there you go. And
I got a friend that
many cases that they're pregnant and the pill didn't work.
Oh, and vasectomies aren't always reversible.
There you go. That's from somebody who knows medical.
So I mean, like, and that's why I don't get.
Well, at the same time, if a woman wants to be risque all the time, she can get her. I'm trying to be super nice about it without saying
right.
Downgrading women. If those are situations that it's always a problem that we can't go to Walgreens and grab a box of condoms, and it always happens, get your tubes tied. Easy. So you can also get your tubes tied. There you go.
Well, some of the problem with that is, in all honesty, is doctors won't perform to have tubes tied or vasectomies on certain ages because you're too young.
Well, then, but there's conscious.
Or don't have enough kids. One of the two. It's usually,
There's or plan B.
Or just don't have sex.
But why? You can have. But here's the thing: you can have sex, but there are ways to prevent it.
Right, but they're not 100%. But the one thing that is 100% is don't have sex.
One thing that I would like to ask some of my pro-lifers: so, are we against? Are y'all against birth control then?
No.
Okay, but why? If you're controlling because then it's not a baby if you're preventing it from being fertilized. I answered my own question.
Well, I mean,
be a parent, then don't have sex. Fair.
I mean, my oldest son just stopped by not too long earlier today, and I literally had this conversation with him. Like, bro, you got your whole life ahead of you because he's graduating high school, and I was like, don't ruin it getting somebody pregnant. I mean, pretty simple. Yeah, I mean, it just, and if you want to get on even like the legality of things, the court is still right that it needs to be in the states. And I've tried having this conversation before. Is we know that the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed, and all these states trample on the Second Amendment, like California, like New York, like Illinois, and put all these major restrictions on. Well, if it's okay for the Second Amendment, that's a constitutional right, well, then we should allow parameters for abortions that needs to be heavily regulated, and it's not even a constitutional right.
And I'm just going back here because I just want to give you. This is one reason why I'm not on TikTok anymore, because I love y'all that are in here, but one of y'all are pot stirrers. I know it because Taryn randomly flung the door open of this podcast and said, "Who's around here talking about women like shit?" And so that means one of y'all motherfuckers in this live went out specifically to grab Taryn to be like, so y'all can. I'm telling you.
Hey, wait, how does that go again?
Huh?
How did it go again?
I'm just saying, there's a mouse or a rat or something that's amongst us and nobody will admit it. I'm not tearing all you guys up, but this is why I won't go back to TikTok, because of shit like this. Look at what they did. You have to admit it, Tex. Look at what these grown-ass people just did. Somebody left this thing to go and falsely tell Taryn that people were in here trashing women. So which upstanding conservative was it in the room that did that?
I'm going to say it was Keely Coladas.
I don't know who Kitty Coladas is.
Keely.
Oh. I know everyone's like, wasn't me.
I'm going to say, we'll just blame her. We'll blame her. She's easy to blame. Uh-oh, what?
No, this is a work thing. Sorry. I had to hey,
look who comes quickly to her defense.
Oh no, she's shown her true colors in the last week. So that's all, huh?
You're talking about Taryn?
Oh yeah, Mother Runner, Taryn, like all them. I just can't. Instant block. Done. I'm done. That's not me, guys. I'm just saying, it's not our regular. Probably not our regular people, but there's somebody that's sitting in the sidelines that's waiting for shit to pop off. That's what I'm saying. And it's a TikTok crew. It's a TikTok type of thing. Instagram, we don't roll that way on Instagram. That's a TikTok shit. Yep, like TikTokers act like 16-year-olds. That's why it's a kids app. That's why it's a fucking kids app. And if there's no drama, then there's something else. Then they're like, ooh, there's no drama, I'm poor. And then they create another story. Like, apparently I'm fucking women now. So, you know what I mean? And I'm not even on TikTok anymore.
Yeah, you are.
Well, somebody's posting my videos, but that's okay. But yeah, so, and then, you have this same regime. It's no longer an administration. It's a regime that we're under. The same regime is inciting violence throughout every media.
Yeah, because the MAGA crew is the most extreme political organization in our American history.
Yeah.
And what woman are you screwing now?
I don't even want to get in. It's not even, it'll just spread it even more. It's not even, I will tell you off the air. But that's moving. That's what TikTok crew are.
Yeah, people are really saying
that, Heather, yes.
AIM says, if you're screwing women, hey, boo.
Well, this woman would not have been the woman that I would have chosen. So there's also that. No.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even.
Like this whole thing is going to get real interesting. And is it Taryn?
100% no. I was just gonna say something, and then that it would have been so wrong. So I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
I really have to be better. I have to do better.
Did you hear our Department of Homeland Security in his testimony? I think it was today.
No, so I've been at work during the day. I haven't really been able to watch the news.
It was either today or yesterday. He was asked about this new Ministry of Truth person that is coming on. That's this Russian expert for disinformation. If the Department of Homeland Security, because they know everything about her, according to him, they know what an expert she is, or anything else, but he didn't know anything about her TikToks. And apparently they're extremely controversial for somebody of disinformation. It's like, really?
Yeah, really?
What are your takes on Trump-endorsed candidates?
Yeah, so all the Trump-endorsed candidates did very well.
Yeah, so did Abbott.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is what I'm going to tell you. That's how much power Trump still has. So this is, and I know Tex is like, ugh, but I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like, the guy does hold that power. Like, he's going to try to, people are going to, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
This coming from the party that wasn't supposed to be idolizing any politician.
Well,
Yeah.
that man is very why Dr. Oz? I don't know. Dr. Oz, I'm never been 100 on. This is why this regime has made it a point to say things on air like the MAGA crowd is very extreme.
No, not very extreme. The most extreme in American history.
Yeah. This is why they're look, they want to take away from the fact that there's about to be an insurrection style situation coming out of the left here right now. From those people that we have been seeing on social media, the left, the wild loony left, they're by them posting Supreme Court justices' home addresses that have families and children. That is inciting violence. That is an insurrection. That is, look, if I see any extreme activity, okay, I'll play your game. I will report you
to the FBI. Nothing will happen. We all know that.
Right, but still, I mean.
So to everybody questioning why Trump is endorsing Dr. Oz, it's the same question that I had as to why he endorsed Hot Wheels. Yeah. I mean, mind you, so there's a lot that goes into endorsements. And as much as we want to give Trump as like this big pro-America, pro the people person, he's not.
Who?
Trump.
He's not what?
He's not 100% like all for the people like he claims.
So Keeley said, I'm glad Trump's endorsements did well, but it worries me that conservatives aren't voting for policies anymore. You're right. Here's the thing, though, and it's because it has gotten to the point where you do have these people on the left or moderate politicians where you don't even want to listen to them anymore. You know who ruined that? Terrence. Sorry. People like on the left that are wild and crazy kids. Okay. Anybody remember that show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People have ruined it for voices or maybe candidates that before we might have been like, now we're just like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. You're a liberal. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And it's the same on that side too, maybe. They're like, oh, no.
Well, I think part of same with Keeley's concern here is like we've gotten just as lazy as conservatives as the Democrats do. That's why I have never, ever in my life, and I've been extremely heavily involved in politics, I have never seen either party. Well, I did. So you did see it with the Democrats for a long time with the Clintons. I've never seen it on the conservative side of anybody ever caring about an endorsement until Trump. And now we hang our entire hat on everything that he says and everything that he does and everybody he endorses. And it's making us lazy because all we do is we look to Daddy Trump, which we're not supposed to be doing as conservatives, looking to a man. Who should we vote for? Oh, that's who we should vote for? Okay, that's who we vote for. That's literally what we're doing.
Oops.
And that's why, like, Keeley has a genuine concern. Like, it's making us extremely lazy because that's literally all we're doing. We're looking to a man to tell us who we should elect instead of us deciding we the people. This is supposed to be we the people party of the Constitution. Instead, it's Donald Trump, whatever he says.
But the entire system is screwed now.
But we complain about the system and we do nothing about it, which is insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. This is why we have old-ass Mitch McConnell in office for 40-something years. Lindsey Graham. I mean, go down the list. John McCain died as a fucking senator. Should have never happened. Because all we do, even on our side, is we look at either if they have an incumbent, we vote for them because we know who they are, And now it's Trump, whatever Trump says.
I honestly think that your entire I hear what you're saying, but I think even more than ever before, after what happened in Texas, you were like
I'm done with the MAGA crowd. I like, because they've gotten lazy. Like everything that we have built for, they've gotten lazy because they've been hanging their hat on, hold the line, trust the plan. Trump's returning at every fucking date that's been presented. And now we go to his rallies, but we can't attend anything else political. 50,000 people can show up on a weekend in Michigan where it was snowing and raining out. And that was absolutely okay, but can't get them to show out to a gubernatorial candidate where we can't even get 50, 75 people out.
Yeah, and I think it's because they just don't know. They just don't know what's going on locally.
That's their problem. And they're hanging their hat on Trump. And whoever Trump says to it that he's endorsing, oh, that's who we're voting for. They don't even continue to look. I mean, Trump doesn't have a good track record on endorsements. He doesn't. Hot Wheels is not a good endorsement. Mitt Romney is not a good endorsement.
Right.
I mean, and it's just like we talk about taking the country back, but then we look to a man to do it. I thought it was we the people. Maybe I'm mistaken.
I told you the reason why they latched onto him because it was the only hope they feel and still feel.
Then we need to stop saying we're going to take our country back. No, we're not. You're just relying on one man to do it. And then what? Well, he serves 4 years. Then what? Then what? You think he's going to save the country in 4 years because he didn't in his previous 4 years?
Right.
What's he going to do in 4 years if he doesn't even have legislation behind
him? Right.
And that's the issue that I have with all this is instead of looking, and I'm not talking about anybody specific in this chat as far as us hanging our hat, but as a whole, on the MAGA side of things, the conservative side of things, we are. You can see it in the votes, even here in Texas. I mean, we talk about withholding the Constitution. If anybody goes against the Constitution, it's treason. So let's reelect Abbott.
Right.
Because Trump endorsed him. That's literally what I was told. Well, Trump endorsed him, so I'm voting for him. Oh. And 1.3 million people, he won by over 1 million votes. And he only violated 16 of our constitutional rights in 2020. But, COVID. Now, all of a sudden, conservatives gave COVID an excuse to reelect Greg Abbott. Conservatives.
I know that the Greg Abbott thing is a huge, and that's what I'm saying. I know that was a huge, like, you got disappointed in conservatives.
And I'm saying it all over the country, though, because that's what they do. I mean,
yeah. And
I'm not saying we're Trump, but like we do a fairly decent job of advertising for like any rallies that we've done in the past. And 20 people show up?
Right. Well, and here's the thing too, is like, I say this about Florida, and we talk about it when we're at Seeds to Table with a lot of local, a lot of guys and gals that are running local. Florida is extremely comfortable right now.
Mm-hmm. Florida. Can I ask you a question? We all say Trump 2024 as if we're already voting for him. What's he running on?
We don't know any of his policies right now.
How are you voting for him then?
Yeah, we don't know any of his policies right now. We can't.
Like Scott says, what you're saying. Scott says we vote for policy, not personality. What policies is he running on? And everybody's already screaming, we're voting for Trump.
No, I get what you're saying, but here's the thing, though, Tex. We already know what he's going to say. It's going to be America.
The election was stolen. The same thing he says at every fucking rally.
It's going to be America first. It's going to be protecting our borders. It's going to be all the pretty much the policies that kept America great while he was president.
Okay, you're just assuming, though.
I'm saying that this is probably what everyone is thinking, which is why they're still sticking on that. Look, you can't hate the MAGA crowd for having hope, but you can be mad at the MAGA crowd for not doing enough.
Hope is great. What does hope get me?
I'm saying they have hope in a man that has done a lot for the country.
I can shit in my left hand too and have the same thing as hope on the right hand.
Yeah, no, I got you. Um, yeah, so I will, yes and no, if that makes sense. I'm still working on the rabbit hole for DeSantis. That's a harder one than I
And
thought.
Kathy, you're right. People are content. How? How can anybody be content?
Oh, so that's what I was going to say before I forget. So people in Florida are extremely, feel extremely comfortable right now, even more so than people in Texas. Sorry, I'm just saying.
No, we're fucking comfortable. We reelected a man that violated 16 of our constitutional rights. We're extremely comfortable here.
Or uneducated, one of the two.
Yeah, both.
The reason why they're even more comfortable in Florida is because Florida is now at the point where, for the first time in history, it has gained 400,000 new Republican voters. So it has pushed the state into even more red than it's ever been in the history of Florida. Okay. What?
This is true.
I don't understand.
That's babe.
No, I know. It says hope. Hope got you me.
Yeah, because I had hope I got her.
Oh.
Don't you roll your eyes?
People are so fucking juiced.
Oh wait, I can't see that apparently. I'll get chastised for that.
What?
Nothing. I said the F word. Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you'll get chastised for that?
Huh?
What do you mean you'll get chastised for that?
No, the gay one.
In the UK, they call those cigarettes. And so here's the thing. So it's like, right. So Florida's, we're only gonna get him for another term. DeSantis. And Michigan's already. Yeah. Well. I don't know. I'm losing what I was gonna say. What my point was, because we keep on going back and forth.
Sorry. So you guys are content.
Yeah. So people need to come forward that want to run and stuff. And people are like the conservative that I had today. They're like, he's like, I used to like you, and you're just talking, you're not doing stuff. But do you know what I'm doing, dude? Do you know? Did you know that I have to live in Florida for a year before I can run for a public office? Did you know? Did you know that I have to be backed by people in actual political? I had to meet people. Right. I have to network. I can't just be like, I want to run. Like I had to I'm making connect. Like this is the thing, and these conservatives. And then you look at his profile, and this guy's got nothing. He's posting about cats. And I'm like, what are you doing, though?
Right.
Automatic block.
Hey, Winners Call podcast. Yeah, I mean, and you're right, though, about being content. I don't understand. Like, I get, like, in certain states, I guess, like a Florida, like a California, or a Texas.
Yes, I will. I'm working on running local. Yes, I'm trying to see where I would be best fit for me.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I could see all that, but like it's just, I don't even being in Texas, and I know you being in Florida. Like I don't understand when you look at our country how anybody in any state can be content.
Yeah, I know. People need to build another DeSantis. So Anthony Sabatini has been out there and doing things. There are some conservative guys out there that are doing stuff here in Florida. There are people that are backing Anthony Sabatini. They've been talking about him a lot. So, I agree with you, Tex. Definitely don't disagree on the the MAGA people, but I'm kind of a MAGA guy. So I get it. But I agree with you on the stance of people shouldn't only go to the Trump stuff and not do anything. I wish they would do more because we have held events that nobody shows up to. So I wish that Trump would say more like, you have to vote local, which the MAGA party has kind of started. Anyone who gave Nikki Fried don't even say Nikki Fried here. Sorry, it took me a second because every time I hear Nikki Fried, I go off on a nod. I lost it again. What I was
saying. All right. So hopefully next week we'll have Kat back.
Huh?
There is. But we are out of time today.
Okay.
Do you have any final send-off thoughts?
No, I would say that the extreme passion that's coming out of me is only because it comes from a place of genuine, fear for what has been going on in the country. My stance on my change in thought and change in belief on abortion has come from my own research and being able to and backing that. So, I have seen a lot of disgusting radical things that people have been saying towards other people about it. And that is where my frustration and the pissed off ant comes from. Because, I had a conservative guy literally belittle me yesterday and leave a message telling me, well, you're a piece of shit and I hope you and your husband can never adopt a kid. Peace out. Like, and this is why I get frustrated with conservatives, Tex. Then you have somebody in our live that decided that they wanted to stir the pot. So they went and either texted or went directly to Taryn and told her, pop in there, they're trashing women. Which is not what the situation was at all.
Nope.
But guess what? People are bored. Instead of going to the rallies that you spoke of, that we've been trying to people go out and do things and talk to them, no, they don't want to do that. They want to go on a 16-year-old's app and stir the pot and do this and this and this. So that's what's frustrating to me. And I would encourage y'all to act like a little bit more of adults, do some research, and stop fucking get out of the TikTok fucking box, yo. Get out of it. Y'all, you want to talk about brainwash? TikTok has fucking brainwashed everybody. It really has. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Fucking TikTok, and that's it. So,
yeah. Well, I do want to say tomorrow on TikTok, unfortunately, but on TikTok, I'll be going live with some businesses at 7 p.m. Central Time that we've been raising money for Lemire. We're doing the raffle for prizes. So if you donated to Lemire, you want to probably join in. If you haven't donated and you plan to, you still got time. You just got to send the screenshots over to that cute KY shop. When is your show with Prather? Do you know?
Yeah, it's May 25th. It's at Off the Hook Comedy Club. If you go into the link tree in my bio on Instagram, it'll give you the ticket purchase. It'll literally say Chad Prather Comedy.
So we'll be going live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time to finish this drawing, and then I think we're auctioning off a bearded dragon of some sort. So yeah, we have Lemire's auction, or not auction, but the auction for the dragon, but the raffle is the main thing. So if you have any questions, let me know. But other than that, we will see you guys next week. Y'all have a good evening.